Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm just looking at your very detailed shelves.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is Tim Burton collectibles from
Yeah,
like the early 90s. And then there's also some random stuff from like the 80s and 90s thrown in as well.
great stuff.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview with me today. One of the questions I've been asking everyone is which did you discover first, the Alfred Hitchcock film or the book?
The book.
Can you talk a little bit about the changes that you made to the book?
The things that Jane Goldman had done to the change in the book. I think the main thing, well, apart from the fact that she had the whole of the book in it, you know, and that there was bits of the book that were missing from the first adaptation, which changed the whole thing effectively, you know. So that was all in there. But I think what she did, which was really interesting, is she looked across the book in terms of the agency and strength of the second Mrs. De Winter and how that would work. And I think that in the book there is an issue which works perfectly fine in the book, but is quite hard for a film, where the end of the book is like they all go on this journey to a doctor's and everybody goes, and it's Favel and Max De Winter and the second Mrs. De Winter, and the doctor kind of tells them the truth about Rebecca, and then they kind of come out and go, and Favel kind of goes, oh, I didn't know that. And then they just shuffle off, you know, and Favel goes, see you later. And then they drive back to Mandalay, and then Mandalay's on fire, but they never get to Mandalay. So that's great in the book, but it's a harder sell for the film because it feels like after all that drama, it just kind of like tails out. So what Jane had done was she introduced this idea of like how the trial worked and how the second Mrs. De Winter then goes to London to find the evidence and then comes back again, you know, and that kind of driving across England and driving back again and all that kind of drama. And I think that was really good and really exciting, and an exciting read on the page, you know. And I think it was a good addition to it. And also we were worried, you know, that there is a concern about how the modern audience, what the conversation would be with the screen, you know, in terms of like going, you know, how the second Mrs. De Winter, if she's too weak or if she's just not active enough. And I think that Jane sorted out a lot of those issues.
Yeah, I want to also say that I love the addition in the beginning of the film where you were actually like give her more of a backstory too.
I think that was all from the book, to be honest. But it's like, yeah, what I really like as well is like when you read the book, the book isn't just her memory; it's her memory of a dream. It's not even, none of it's really real, you know. And I think that was really interesting. That there's so many layers of kind of reality to kind of pick through. So you've got like Danvers's like gaslighting the second Mrs. De Winter and kind of talking in her ear about Rebecca, but at the same time, it's all the second Mrs. De Winter's story anyway. You know, she's controlling what Danvers is saying, and then Maxim's story about what happened to Rebecca, well, no one knows but Maxim, and that all could be nonsense as well. And so you get all these kind of these ideas of what reality is and what truth is packed into it.
Yeah, you did a terrific job with it. I was not going to ask this question, but I have to ask it now. So I spoke to Kristen Scott Thomas, and she told me that she had to track you down to get the role of Mrs. Danvers. So can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Well, I don't think that's what happened. This is the layers of reality. You know, I'm not sure. It's the fog of war. I thought we had to desperately beg her to do it, if I remember rightly. I remember having a meeting with her and kind of going, oh, will you do it, Kristen? She's like, oh yes, let's do it. You know, but it was quite nervy. I don't remember. But then maybe I didn't see what was going on in the background. It wasn't, you know, often that, you know, there's all sorts of kind of machinations in production land which I don't necessarily see.
Yeah, it was probably in that middle ground, you know, someone in between you two, where it was like they got all the stuff she was talking about. But
yeah,
I just thought that was funny. Well, congratulations on the film, and honestly, I think it's terrific. I really do. I think it's just as good as the one that won Best Picture. So maybe we'll get some awards for this one.
Well, you get the badge for best interview of the day then for that.
No, trust me, you have more legendary people you're talking to than me in this. But I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one, Ben.
Cheers, man. Ta-da.